Hi, folks. Welcome back to Racin-n-Braisin. I am CJ. It is Monday night, and that means we're going to be talking about what we saw this weekend in Martinsville. Talk about the race, talk about the picks, and talk about a couple of takeaways from the race, and then just do a quick look at what we're going to see next week. So let's dive right into it. Let's start off with picks. I had first pick this week in the regular season competition between me and Mom, and I went with Ryan Blaney. Yes, he had a tough starting position, but I had full confidence in his car that long runs would prevail at this race and that he would work his way to the front. Well, he did work his way to the front. Some early strategy tipped him ahead of the line while the rest of the field pitted early in stage one. The Penske 12 was able to stay up towards the front. Unfortunately, on each restart throughout the day, seemed to slide back a little bit each time. I heard after the race, Blaney commented that he was never really comfortable with his car, never really satisfied with it, just could not find the handle that he needed to be able to go forward. Blaney ends up finishing 11th, which puts me at 90 points. Mom had second pick, and she decided to go with her favorite driver, Chase Elliott, who we knew was starting second, and looking good on short, flat tracks as we saw at Bowman Gray. And that held true again yesterday at Martinsville. Ends up finishing fourth. Some said he had the best car all day, but track position played such a crucial role in this race that he was never really able to get around the people that were ahead of him. So, add 4 points to Mom's total, and that now brings her up to 75 points, which means we have now a 15-point difference. I am still in the deficit. Her lead has stretched out yet again. That's okay. She's got first pick next week, and we'll see what we can do to try and get back into the lead. So let's dive into the race yesterday. As we know, Denny Hamlin gets his 55th win. That was his first win in almost a year and his first win in Martinsville in 10 years. I am impressed that Hamlin was able to do a burnout all the way around the track. Good job there. I did not understand what the 11 against the world flag was there after the burnout during the post-race interview. He tried to explain it. It didn't make sense to me. Whatever, moving on. What did we see yesterday? Well, we saw a typical Martinsville spring race. You know, it had long green flag runs in it. It had a couple of spurts of caution. It turned into a typical next-gen Martinsville race where it was ring around the rosy, follow the leader, very difficult to pass. Nice to see the tire fall off, the tire wear. The softer tire produced a different style of race, but it wasn't necessarily the most compelling. Everybody had the same tire, so the fall off was all the same. So it really was more about who could manage their tires better. And as we typically see in the Martinsville spring race, the cream rose to the top and the best drivers ended up in the top 10 at the end of the day. Pit strategies were interesting throughout the day, but it definitely ended up playing out that Hamlin grabbed the lead halfway through the second stage, and ended up leading a total of 274 laps and just dominated the day. Never looked back after taking the lead in stage 2. However, in stage 3, I do want to talk about, there were about 70 or 80 laps into stage 3. There was a string of 4 cautions in a row. It was just all back-to-back off of restarts, people getting into each other. It just, tight racing, tight quarters. It didn't look like anything super egregious, except for maybe the Austin Cindric incident. But on that 4th incident that occurred, it was between Chase Briscoe and Joey Logano. Briscoe caught the curb in the corner. It shoved him into the outside, which Joey Logano was there, spun him out, Typical racing deal at Martinsville for somebody that just misjudged a corner. Was what it was. But during that caution, I had this thought in my head that I was like, oh my goodness, has NASCAR lost control of this race? I hope that we were just going to, get into a run after that we weren't going to see another string of cautions and just a repeat of what we saw Saturday night. So, thankfully, The rest of the race went green from there. So those 4 cautions in a row were just a racing deal. It was what it was, and everybody calmed down, and we got the rest of the race in under green. No major drama to speak of throughout the race. Honestly, just very tame. So that led me to really pay attention to what the teardown had to say about the tires after the race. They were bringing up an interesting discussion about the option tire. Was having the option tire, 2 tires to choose from, creating a more compelling race than just having a soft tire? It was nice to see the tire wear, and definitely works better for the next gen car at these short tracks. But we know NASCAR is not going to give them more horsepower, which means the only thing that is left to mess with is the tires. And we've seen Goodyear work hard to bring a good product to the track. There's been major improvements, but is the only way to make yesterday's race more interesting, more compelling, add another layer of interest to it, to have the option tire as an element in yesterday's race. I don't know. Maybe that is the answer for the short tracks and this next gen car, to have 2 tires to choose from throughout the race. It seemed to work pretty well at Phoenix earlier this year. It created an extra element of interest and an extra element of strategy throughout the race. Maybe that's what the short track's missing right now with the Cup guys and the next gen car. I don't know. You tell me. Leave a comment down below. Let's move on to takeaways from the race. 3 major takeaways that were very easy to bring from this. They were from my questions earlier in the weekend. Blaney got a finish. Elliott had a solid day, and Seabell also had a solid day. Good to see that all of those 3 drivers that I had questions about going into the weekend got things turned around. Who we haven't seen turn anything around yet is Brad Kieslowski. He is having a rough season, and we're headed to Darlington next. He won this race last year, so maybe the 6 car can find a way to turn things around, or maybe Brad's on his way out. I don't know. Bad seasons can turn miserable and terrible real fast, and the 6 team has not shown the same kind of speed that the rest of the RFK crew has shown. So the 17 and the 60 have looked really strong this year, but the 6 just can't seem to get it going. That's a question that I have. That leads us into what's coming up next week. Let's talk about it real quick. Darlington. It is going to be Throwback weekend. The Xfinity Series and the Cup Series are going to be the only 2 at Darlington this weekend. Trucks have the week off again. The throwback schemes that I have seen so far are pretty cool, all except for Chase Elliott's. His missed the mark. They put the side-by-side to what he was trying to go for, and the colors are just off. The schemes are off. Even the lines are just wrong. So he's the only one that's not really showing a good throwback. The best one I've seen so far, however, has come out of the Hendrick stable, and that is the 5 car, the Tony the Tiger Frosted Flake Throwback. That orange and blue scheme it just looks fantastic. Go out on the internet, check it out. You'll definitely see it this weekend. Throwback weekend, awesome schemes coming up. That also means my head is starting to think about throwbacks to when I got into NASCAR, which was also at Darlington way back in 1992. So I am going to think all week long about what my throwback menu is going to be. I think it's got to do something with the 90s, so that's where I'm going to head thought process wise. Let me know what you guys would throw back to in the comments down below. So until Thursday, you guys have yourself a good week. We'll get back together Thursday night, preview what's coming up for Darlington, talk schedule, talk expectations, talk any news that we've seen throughout the week, and then get us loaded up for a good throwback weekend in Darlington. Until then, guys, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. To the 2 new subscribers that came on last night, thank you so much. Really appreciate having you guys here. I hope you're enjoying the content that I am putting together for you. And I also hope that you guys enjoyed the tiny little cooking segment that I had this weekend where I showed you how I make a basic remoulade. I hope to be adding more of that for you guys here in the future. I'm learning as I go how to do this video stuff. So until Thursday night, guys, take care. I'll see you all again. Thanks.